The Chiefs' offensive tackle battle has to be won, not just finished, and it has to come down to the rookie, Kingsley Suamataia. He's got to get it done. Welcome back to RGR. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue. You've been on this channel before, and if you haven't, well, welcome in. I've got 20 years experience as a physiological development coach, working with athletes of all sports, been in football a very long time. And it comes down to this. No matter how much farther we get down the road, as the game evolves, quote unquote, it comes down to athletes making plays. Nothing changes there. And this battle for the Kansas City Chiefs in this training camp is going to be really, really specific and actually have ripples all through the season. It comes down to these two guys, and Kingsley Suamataia and Wanya Morris. Two guys that have been top 100 picks in the last few years, and they have to battle it out. Now, no matter what the outcome, it's going to lead to repercussions for the rest of the roster. And that's why I'm starting this breakdown series. It's going to run through this next season in giving you the lowdown, the straight stuff. I'm not holding back. This is going to be what I think and what my experience tells me you can't get anywhere else. It comes down to this for this battle. There's more upside for Kingsley Suamataia to be the Chiefs' long-term left tackle than there is for Wanya Morris. That's just the bottom line. Now, there is a future position that Wanya Morris could fill in on the right-hand side when Juwan Taylor's contract has run its course. I think as the years go by, we're going to look more and more friendly upon that particular contract. But it comes down to this, that the length, the athleticism that Suamataia has is the upside you're looking for. It might be a consequence that this season, it might be a little bit slowed. It might be something that doesn't get the job done as much as we'd like, but the growing pains are worth it. The only problem is you can't take a risk on trying to let a guy that you've seen on the field in Wanya Morris really take the lead there just because he's got a little bit of experience. This has to be a true battle come training camp. And we're going to talk about it, I'm sure, the whole time until they actually name the roster, because that's how important this position is. Kingsley's length and his ability to move is trumped by his technique, and it also is overshadowed by what he has to improve on. He is a rookie. Wanya does have a year experience up on him, but I think Wanya is better suited on the right-hand side, probably more naturally, in my opinion. And I do think that he could go inside and play guard, which is something that I think, depending on the situation with Joe Thuney, is a very, very possible outcome. And I kind of like that. It comes down, is going to be in the end. It might not be right up front, but in the end, that's the way it's going to come down. There are some things that lead to that and what that unlocks for the offense, because it's about that rhythm passing game. You have to establish it. It's not establishing the run like it was in the old days, although I'll do another one of these about the run game and what that has to become this year as well. But it's about establishing the patience and the intermediate pass game. Rashee Rice, depending on his availability, is going to be kind of the spark plug here. Hollywood's going to have an adjustment, but I do think his chemistry with Mahomes is going to win out, and they are going to press forward and really get something done once they get into the 6 to 8 week range, is my guess. So in the beginning, assuming that it's not going to be a suspension for Rice, at least not right off the bat, we'll see if that comes to pass. You got to get him into the rhythm. You got to hit those shorts and intermediates and move the ball and get the tempo down. That allows you to lull the defense into what they want to do over the top. Now, later in the season, it's going to become, in my opinion, more about going over the top early and then drawing it back, because the Chiefs want to go deep. That's why Hollywood's here. That's why Xavier Worthy's here. It is a wrinkle that you have to adjust for Rice, but all those guys lead to this one thing. You got to be able to protect Patrick Mahomes' backside better than you have. The fact that they don't have a veteran left tackle in camp right now tells me that they're putting all their eggs in this basket and that they actually feel like they have to go young at the left tackle spot. Now, maybe this is one where they're good either way, and whoever physically wins in camp, they're going to go with. I don't think that that's the limit that you can really put on this. You have to project through the season. You have to project through the AFC West clashes in November and December as the season wears on. And I think that keeps pointing back to me, based on our evaluations here and in the draft cycle, it's got to be Kingsley Suamataia if this offense is really going to reach what it's capable of reaching. Now, if they get to the point and they don't find that either of them are ready or are capable of doing what they want, then they have to consider bringing in Donovan Smith, who's still out there in free agency, or finding another option at left tackle, because that's the flip side of this coin. You can't take too much of a chance because you have got to get this done to get that historic three-peat. I know I harp on that a lot, and if you're new to this channel, you probably haven't heard it before, but make sure you like and sub and get with us here at Rogue Nation. We are a subset of Chiefs Kingdom, so join us. I'm going to continue to harp on it. This is a historic possibility. They have to do everything they can to push for that three-peat. I don't care what it costs. I don't care if you have to give up a draft pick next year. I'll even go back on my own philosophy and say, if you have to go get an asset, whether it's a left tackle, somebody gets hurt and you need another wide receiver, Rashee Rice gets suspended for a whole year, you feel you need another wide receiver. Whatever it is you feel you need to get you over the hump, you got to go do that, even if it includes giving up a top 100 pick. That's hard for me to say, but that's the reality. There is nothing else. You got to get this done. And these two guys in particular, I think, are what it starts at and not where it ends. Because depending, another factor is the Joe Thuney injury and whether he's ready to go week 1 or week 4 or week 8 or whatever it is. Those two things determine how many offensive linemen you have to keep, and that determines how many defensive backs you have to keep, how many linebackers you have to keep, and how many wide receivers you can keep. The other wrinkle is that you have to have somebody that can come in as a sixth offensive lineman from time to time, because I don't think you expect Noah Wiley and Jared Wiley. Noah Wiley, he's an actor. I don't think that you can expect Noah Gray and Jared Wiley to be able to put up enough additional blocking for when you do need to run the ball. Short yardage has to improve this season. You're going to get in some more difficult spots. This is going to be a lot of get down the field in big chunks, and you are going to see them have to move the ball in shorter spurts. That has been a problem in the past. Now, luckily, they're going to have, I think, a lot lighter boxes. The threat of Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown together is going to scare the pants off a lot of defensive coordinators in this league. And so I do think they're going to open that up, and they'll have more room to run, in particular with lighter box personnel, but also have more room in that intermediate area, that 6 to 12 to 14 yard area where Travis Kelce can eat, the slot receivers can eat. And we'll see who steps up, whether it's another running back in the pass game, whether it's the rookie Wiley stepping into the tight end role, or whether they're running a lot more sets of wide receivers to get guys like Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney onto the field. It's going to be very varied, and that's what it comes down to. So it all starts and stops with this battle. My money's on Kingsley Suamataia. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Make sure you sub to the channel. Thanks for being with us, and have a great one. I'll catch you next time for the breakdown.